So you're going to speak into this microphone and you go live?
Hello, hello.
Yes.
When my day has kicked off and I'm moving through the buzzing city of Lagos, I've got the radio to keep me company with a collection of smooth music on Smooth 98.1.
Smooth like that.
I am Udoka Oyeka.
This is Ben Hans, the chef, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
I'm going in.
Love music, love life.
I shall read you a passage from my first novel.
Stories and literature from the African perspective.
The power of the story lies in the hands of the storyteller.
Prose, poetry, drama, thriller, fiction, and reality.
Africans must tell their own stories.
The Book Review on Smooth 98.1.
Ready? And you're listening to Smooth 98.1 Love Music, Love Life. You are welcome to the Smooth Book Review Show right here on your Love Music, Love Life station. We're coming to you live from the commercial hub of West Africa, Lagos State, Nigeria. My name is Judith Atibi. How are you doing? Good morning to you and welcome to the show. As always on the Smooth Book Review Show, we serve you the very best of African literature for you every Saturday morning. And that's what we do here. So if it's your first time, you are welcome. Besides, where have you been? How come you've been missing out? Well, you're welcome to the show. Again, my name is Judith Atibi. Now, today on the show, I have a very special guest. I say this with all my guests, but every single one of them is special. Yeah. Today's a very special show, okay? I have a very beautiful woman join me live today inside the studio, and we're going to be reviewing her book. Okay, by the way, we're streaming live on YouTube, so you might want to go there to catch a glimpse of our faces before I do the introduction. On the YouTube page, we're at Smooth 981 on YouTube. Again, Smooth 981 on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe as well and click the notification button so that you can be aware each time we go live. Okay, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-conforming gender, please put your hands together as I do this introduction. It's none other than author Lola Akinmade Akerstrom.
I'm so excited to be here with you, Judith.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting to have you join me this morning. How are you doing?
I am doing great.
Well, a very triumphant homecoming, I would say.
Yes, it feels great to just be home, right?
I know.
Just the energy. Yeah, Lagos is like nowhere else in the world.
I know. You're welcome. Well, a lot of people are going to be wondering, Judith, why did you just say homecoming? Well, she is been based in Europe for quite a while now, and she just got back home, and she's been doing her book tour, and we're more than excited to have her first radio show ever in Africa to be here. Yes, West Africa. Absolutely, to have her here join us on the show. So you're welcome. We're going to be reviewing her book today. It's her debut novel, her very first novel. It's called In Every Mirror She's Black. Okay, it's In Every Mirror She's Black, and it's been published in Nigeria by Parisia Publishers Limited. Okay, so In Every Mirror She's Black, and that's what we're going to be reviewing. So you can join the conversation via our WhatsApp platform. Okay, our WhatsApp number is 0809 4440981. Again, 0809 4440981. Now, you don't have to read the book to join the conversation, okay? So if you have any questions at all about writing, about Europe, about what she's been enjoying since she's been back, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the book. Please send those messages to 0809 4440981. You can also call us up here in the studio. Our telephone lines are open on 01 448 9981. Again, 01 448 9981. All right, so before we get into the plot of the book, I'm going to take your bio, and she has quite the impressive resume, I would say. Very impressive. So let's just get into it. So Lola Akinmade Akerstrom, she's Nigerian American based in Sweden. She's also an award-winning author, speaker, and photographer. Her work has appeared in National Geographic, Traveler, The Guardian, Sunday Times Travel, The Telegraph, The New York Times, Travel Plus Leisure, Slate, and Adventure Magazine, and on BBC, CNN, Travel Channel, and Lonely Planet, amongst others. In addition to contributing to several books, she's the author of Due North, 2018 Lowell Thomas Award winner for Best Travel Book, a best-selling Lagom, that's a Swedish, Secret of Living Well, available in over 17 foreign language editions. She has been recognized with multiple awards for her work, including the 2018 Travel Photographer of the Year Bill Muster Award, and she was honored with a PPAD, that's the most influential people of African descent 100 award within media and culture in 2018. Her photography is represented by the National Geographic Image Collection, and she's based in Stockholm. And of course, we have her live in the studio. Very impressive resume.
I stay busy.
I mean, I was going to say, like, well, I mean,
thank you.
You're welcome. Your Instagram has plenty of photographs. I was like, well, I like that one. I should print this one and hang it on my wall. It's very pretty.
Thank you.
So, photography is your pastime, or something that you enjoy doing as well?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, photography was something I actually came into. My background was very technical. You know, I worked in IT for over 12 years, but then I'm also a travel writer, storyteller, right? And so photography kind of came along with that. So I call myself a visual storyteller. And so whatever platform I'm feeling in the moment is what I use, whether it's writing or photography, teaching or speaking. So yes.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. Now let's get into the book, shall we? And we're gonna read the blurb for a number of persons who are just who don't know anything about the book. So the blurb is, I'm going to take the synopsis from the book here. It's an arresting debut about 3 Black women linked to the same influential white man as they build new lives in Stockholm. Successful marketing executive Kemi Adeyemi is lured from the US to Sweden by Jonny von Lorden, CEO of the nation's largest marketing firm, to help fix a PR fiasco, including a racially tone-deaf campaign, a killer at work, but a failure in love. Kemi's move is a last-ditch effort to reclaim her social life. A chance meeting with Jonny in business class en route to the US propels former model turned flight attendant Brittany Ray Johnson into a life of wealth, luxury, and privilege, a life she's not sure she wants, as the object of is unhealthy obsession. And of course, there's also refugee Muna Sahid, who lost her entire family, finds a job cleaning the toilets at this same white man's office, Jonny, and as she works to establish her residency in Sweden, and more importantly, seek connection and a place she can call home. Told through the perspectives of each of these 3 women, in every mirror she's Black is a fast-paced, richly nuanced contemporary social novel that explores the deepest depths of what it means to be a Black woman navigating a white-dominated society. And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's beautiful. We have a message here from our very own Amina. She goes, "Hi, Lola and Judith. This cover is so lovely. What is the first option, or did you have to go back and forth with the designer?" Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good fact when it comes to, because the cover is really pretty.
Yes, and absolutely, it's designed by the amazing Kimberly Glider in the US. And in terms of collaboration, all I had to do as the author was write down my thoughts, what I envisioned. I envisioned, these women, mirrors, and these are the ages. And so I sent that, and she's an ultimate pro. She's designed so many award-winning book covers that all she had to do was read my notes, and then boom,
just did
that. And so you can see the women, it kind of represents Kemi, Brittany, and Muna, but they all blend into each other.
Yes,
because the world doesn't kind of see them as individuals, right? So when she designed that cover, it was just immediately,
yes,
little tweaks here and there, but that was it. It was almost perfect, right from the right from the start.
Let's talk about your writing from nonfiction to fiction.
Yes.
Was this transition easy for you?
So I'll tell you kind of a fun story. Fiction has always been my first love. So when I went to boarding school,
we're like twins now.
writing, and in boarding school, so I used to write a lot of fiction, fill up all those notebooks, those foolscap paper, everything, and I used to run my own little library in my dorm room. So when I handwrite my notes for my books, then my friends would check them in and out. So like, oh, this week, Dukwe has learned it out. Next week it comes back in. So I was doing that for a while, but then kind of life, takes you different turns. So I moved from a really creative space into kind of this tech field. And then once I left the tech field, I started going back to the creative, but I went to nonfiction. So I've worked many years as a travel writer, somebody that writes about culture, that gets beneath the nuances of culture. So writing fiction is almost like going back to that first love, right? And so all my years as a nonfiction writer actually also helped me with this fiction.
Wonderful. We have a call here. Let's see who this is. Hello. Oh, we lost you there. Call us up on 014489981. Again, 014489981. You can also send us a WhatsApp message to 0809444091. Again, 0809444091. It's a Smooth Book Review Show. My name is Judith Atibi. My guest is Lola Akinmade Akerstrom, and she's the author of In Every Mirror, She's Black. We're just talking about the book. If you have any questions for her, please join the conversation. So, this book,
yes,
I've read the blurb, right? But I'm just going to let you do justice to the plot of the book.
No, absolutely. So, the book, follows the lives of three very different, very distinct women. Kemi, who is a successful marketing executive in the US, very successful. Brittany, who was a former model turned flight attendant, and then Muna, who is kind of lost her family en route to Sweden, trying to find a place. And the reason I created Johan, as a character is that Black women don't really move to Sweden for no reason. It's not Italy, it's not Spain, it's not like, oh, you know what, let me move. Yeah. And so for me to make this book real and true to life, there had to be something that brought them there. And so that was why Yoni's character was pivotal and is pivotal, and you don't get to know much about him except through their own point of view. So the book centers the women, it's their stories. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and so I really wanted to show that what is it like to be a Black woman navigating career, navigating class, navigating culture. I knew right there I needed to create three very distinct voices to kind of show those things as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Just three characters that are just very distinct, like you said, but a lot of themes that you touched on, and we're going to get into those themes, right? But first of all, let's talk about just the characterizations of the book, really, and how you were able to build them, right? Very distinct characters, like you said, Brittany, who is a model flight attendant, and or Johan, who is, one would say, the movie star, really handsome, but very complex. And there's also Muna Sahid, who is the immigrant 18-year-old, just in a teen, coming into adulthood, going through a lot, going through that very heavy transitioning of migrating. You talked about a number of things of the book.
Yes.
When you were building this world, how was it? What were the books you were reading at the time, influences to be able to build that?
No, absolutely. And the thing is, I've lived in Sweden for 11 years now. I have a lot of experience in terms of the culture. I speak the language. I'm kind of married into the culture. And before this book, I had written a book called Lola, which, so I've kind of spent time, especially, and I always say, when you move to a place and you are going to kind of grow roots there, you need to know the quality of the soil, deeper than the people that live there.
True.
And so that's kind of how I started digging. And I said, with the characters, there are so many Black women in Sweden. Sweden is a lot more diverse than people know, kind of publicly. There's still kind of a one-dimensional image. And so I, as a Black woman in Sweden, experienced a lot of the things the women are experiencing in the book. So I said, how about because they always said the book you're supposed to write sometimes is much closer than you think. So I was able to kind of pull through, some of my own experiences to inspire some of the characters. Each character is like a mix of many different people I know or many different situations I've been. So it's not one person or one thing that inspires. I always say that all the women are not me, but then all the women are me. All the characters are just inspired by lots of different situations and people. And even with Mona, starting in the asylum center, I spent 2 years visiting a real asylum center as a photographer, spending time with the asylees, taking photos of them and giving them back the photos to say, you know what, you being a refugee does not define you. This is who you are. This person smiling, you are Kazim, you are Ahmed, this is you, and so spending that time there, as well as also being a travel writer who writes about Sweden a lot, I needed to show both sides of the story, because telling one side kind of is a lie, right? You have to
you have to be very objective.
You have to be objective, and for me it's always about cultural connection, bringing two kind of halves together.
And that's basically the duty of writers. Some persons might argue that a writer should have license to do whatever, but I feel like as custodians of history, whether you like it or not, it's your duty to sort of give an objective view. We have this message here from Amin, and she goes, this is a question for Lola. She goes, hi again, this is a question for Lola. The book has 3 main characters, but it's also filled with a lot of important characters. Were there any favorite characters you really enjoyed writing or exploring? Wink wink.
Yes. And the thing is that every single character in the book is messy. Every single character. And I wanted to show the complexity of our humanity, right? But
tell me.
But the one character, I won't say is my favorite, but I had a great time creating him, is the Turkish guy called Yagiz. There is a guy called Yagiz, and I feel like everybody knows the Yagiz in their life. Is this kind of almost aggressive macho. On the one hand, he's a very hardworking small business owner immigrant. On the other hand, his views of women and feminism is trash. Sometimes he's warm, sometimes he's cold. He's just somebody that lives in the mucky middle, which is what most people are, where we're like, one day we're good, one day we're bad. So I can't say he's a bad, evil character, but it's just a complex character. And so that character was one I wanted to create.
The themes of this book really touch on quite a number of things, and you just pretty much just open the floor to discuss about that. And there are so many. I just don't know how to get started. But at the crux of it is just basically, of course, Black bodies, women, and just our transition to who we are, and how whatever society we seem to find ourselves, it's just women. I mean, we just find it hard, and it's even more difficult when you're a Black woman or an African woman, a Black woman of African descent. It's just a lot harder for you. So but one of the very heavy thing that was there was sexuality and the fetishization of Black women's body. Kemi Adeyemi was navigating this unwarranted, unwanted, not in a way really wonderful thing that was going on with her boss.
Yes.
And there was also the time that she had to move to Sweden, and then there was also this, everyone is just, she has all this body parts and it's just really wonderful, and everyone just wants to seem to, and she had a hard time just navigating that. And of course there was also Brittany as well, who gets into a relationship for the wrong reasons, because that girl needs to be flogged.
I know, right?
For the wrong reasons. And just talk to me about just basically that. I wouldn't ask this question because I'm a Black woman. I know, but as a writer, what were you? I'm sure this was important for you to sort of explore.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also wanted to create space for them to make mistakes, right? Because as a Black woman navigating the world, once we make a mistake, then it's like, all Black women are like this, and so I really wanted to create the individuality, give them space to make mistakes, with Kemi being successful. And I wanted to root her in Nigeria so I could pull cultural references, because she's expected to be a certain way.
Yes.
She's expected to, once she's got this great job, marry, have kids. Like, there's a path for her that society is saying you have to do. And so I wanted to give her space to make those mistakes, and then with Brittany, Britney's mistakes are she was traumatized in the past, and sometimes if you don't get the support you need or deal with kind of the root causes, sometimes that pattern can repeat, which is kind of how she got into with Yoni as well, you know. And then with Kenny, in terms of the body, I read a survey a long time ago that was talking about what society says is beautiful and should be held on the arm versus what people want behind the doors. And I wanted to show that in Kemi's character, where it's like that
she's very curvaceous.
She's very curvy. She's very. It kind of attracts guys behind the doors. But then to carry her publicly, you know, society says you have to have a certain look. So I wanted to kind of bring all of that to the forefront, honestly and rawly, so that people can connect and also kind of see themselves reflected as well.
Very, very interesting there. We need to go for a very short break. I see all your messages coming. You can join the conversation on our YouTube page. Go on there to YouTube. We're at Smooth981 on YouTube. Stream live there. And of course, on our WhatsApp, it's 0809-444-0981. Join the conversation. Ask your questions. And also, just pretty much ask about Stockholm as well. If it's really cold and how many blonde people that you can pretty much, I'm sure everyone's just cold in there. My guest in the studio is Lola Akinmade Akerstrom, and we're talking about her debut novel. It's called In Every Mirror. She's black. Stay with us.
Smooth 98.1.
Things change when I
We're
discovered
on a
African
break.
books.
The
Tons
Smooth
of
Book
questions.
Review.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Just like things I read.
It's not so easy. It's like flying a
Oh my
plane.
god, it's amazing.
Thank you so much. So we have more messages. This is Tosan. She goes, good morning, Judith, and also to your guest, author. So my question to your guest is, how was the process like when you were choosing the theme for your book? Also, did you have other scenarios for the ending, or was it just the ending of your book you had all along? That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. So we're gonna take that when we come back.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we have like a minute before we go.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
One thing is likely to happen. System shut down. Helping you discover facts about your health and expanding your access to well-being through relevant information. Tune in to Smooth Health on the Drive and make that connection with your body.
Some very interesting information I came across that I thought I should
The
share.
Smooth Health, every Thursday at 5:15 p.m.
Milo! Yes!
Tell me first, why do I give you Milo every morning?
Because every day I play like a baller, I run like a sprinter, I learn like a scholar, so I need all the energy I can get. You see?
I see very well.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
This is Uzi Queen. Music is universal. Music is love. Live, laugh, love. Music is happiness. Music is togetherness. Music is chilling on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life.
Things changed when I discovered African books.
The Smooth Book Review on Smooth 98.1.
All right, going back in. Ready? Studio. And welcome back. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It is a Smooth Book Review show, the second leg of the show. My name is Judith Atibi. My guest in the studio is Lola Akinmade Akerstrom. She's the author of In Every Mirror. She's Black, the novel. We're reviewing the book today with her. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
You enjoying yourself?
I am.
I know. I'm also enjoying myself as well. You can also join us and enjoy yourself, and also send us questions on to our WhatsApp platform on 0809-444-0981. You can also join the party visually or virtually on our YouTube page. So go onto our YouTube and catch us as we're streaming live on there. It's Smooth 981 on YouTube. Again, Smooth 981 on YouTube. And this is a message from Tosan. She goes, good morning, Judith, and also to your guest author. So my questions to your guest are, how was the process like for you when you were choosing the theme for your book? Also, did you have other scenarios for the ending, or was it just the ending of your book you had all along? That's from Tosan.
That's a great question, Tosan. So in terms of the characters, I knew right away I wanted to tackle career, class, and culture. Right away, before designing who I wanted to represent those. But I knew those were the three themes, I wanted to tackle. And then before writing the book, I actually spent about 5 months crafting the characters, outlining different scenes before actually writing. Because once I developed the characters, they became like people to me, real people. So that when I started writing, it was the characters that dictated where the book will go. So I did not actually know the ending at all, but I knew Muna so much as a character that when I was writing her, I knew this is how Muna would think, Muna would do this, or, Kemi will think, or Brittany thinks, and so that was what guided the process towards the end. And of course, the ending is very open.
Yeah, very wonderful there. I have this message here. Let's see. This is also from, hang on a second. My mouse is playing games with me. All right, found that question. So this is Amin, and she goes, final question. The three women don't interact very much at all in the book. That's a very good observation there. And I think there's just 2 meetings, about 3 chance meetings between all 3 women, separate times with separate characters. And she goes, why did you opt to keep them isolated and disconnected from one another?
Exactly. Great question. And that was also the point of the book, is to, one, show that Black women are not monoliths. So I'm trying to make them individuals that just because you're Black doesn't mean you're automatically friends. It's kind of like saying, it's kind of like a Black person saying to a white person, oh, white person, you're from Ohio. I also know another white person from Ohio. Maybe you guys might be besties. So I was trying to take that away from what we Black women or Black people get. Oh, I know one person from Nigeria, maybe you can be best friends. And then I wanted to show that, for example, Mona and Brittany, especially in Sweden, which is kind of a classist society, it really is, they wouldn't.
Kinda?
Yeah, it is actually.
I'm like, kinda?
It is very. No, but Brittany and Mona won't really organically interact unless, maybe Muna was working as a help in the house, like there was no
social worker.
There's no way they would really truly, because Brittany is married to one of the wealthiest man, and Muna works as a janitor. So, and then with Kemi and Muna, even though there's that kind of, when you see your fellow kind of Black sister, you nod, you smile. There's a kind of acquaintance, but that doesn't mean they're going to be best friends because they roll in different circles, right? So I really wanted to show that reality. And the great thing is, because I have kind of friends across the spectrum, I've worked from, with refugees. I have friends, who are janitors, up to friends who are in other parts. And so for me, as a culture, I don't know, like as a custodian as well, I wanted to show that disparity in a way that is real, even though we would love them to all be besties.
That's really good. This is a message here from Ijoma. She goes, I've been following, she said, I frigging love you.
Oh,
and she goes, I've been following your page and work since 2016. This is a proper grand homecoming. Thank you so much for that. This is also from Onome. And he goes, how easy was it to get the book published? Was it easier?
No. and that's one of my favorite questions, because the manuscript for this book was rejected over 70 times. Wow. 70 times.
What?
Yes, 70. In fact, a friend of mine said, are there that many publishers? I didn't know there was up to 70 publishers. And
what?
And when you read the book, you see why, because the publishing industry is full of gatekeepers. The publishing
we're going to talk about that as well. Gatekeeping in African literature.
Absolutely. And they say that there are so many reasons. One, the book kind of sits between literary fiction and commercial fiction. So they were kind of ponging it back and forth, like, well, it's not literary enough, well, it's not commercial enough. And then it centers 3 Black women in one of the whitest countries in a mainstream level. And also they felt like, well, our audiences aren't going to connect with the 3 women. And I'm like, you mean the same audiences that connect with vampires and werewolves, and they can't connect with me as a Black woman? What kind of nonsense? So it was a rough process to publication. And just in terms of the gatekeeping, and the people that have been reading, you know, it's the book is written for both, so Black and non-Black. And the non-Black people are saying that this is a great book, that these are the audiences that the gatekeeper said were not going to connect, are connecting deeply with the book.
The audacity. It's the audacity for me.
Yeah, so I just told them, I'm like, you guys need to be angry on their behalf because they are not giving you credit. That you cannot connect with diverse stories, that you cannot connect, you know, with stories about other people that don't look like you.
Doesn't this speak to just the notion of, or better still, what white feminism is? I was on this what's the name now for the life of me? It's a social media platform where people just go in and have conversations, and this conversation was pretty much about the differences between African feminism or West African feminism or Black or African American feminism and white feminism. And one of the things that kept going around there, one of the things that everyone kept saying when they came onto the platform to talk, was that Black women are they are subservient in white feminism. Do you think that all that gatekeeping also is part of that?
It is part of that, you know, and I actually mentioned in the book, you know, there's a scene in the book, and I'm not going to give much away, where somebody is saying that, you know, kind of Sweden handles one social issue at a time. Right now, it's gender equality for white women. You know, so we're waiting in line.
We're waiting in line until they get
our issues. You know, so but that is the fact, is that we also have that additional layer. You know, and the book. One thing I love about the book is that it also talks about just feminism as well, sexism. And then you add the Black layer. So that's why a lot of women were connecting with these Black women in the book. So a lot of white women are also connecting with them because they also saw a lot of the sexism, you know, that they experience. But yeah, no, it's a very layered, very complex topic. But as my agent said, once Black women's voices are taken with equal weight in the same rooms as white women, then we're talking. You know, then we're having that conversation. Then we're truly having the conversation.
Thank you so much for that. I have more messages here. Wow, everyone is getting on this. This is MI from Akoka. It goes, I'm here for the 3 C's: culture, career, and class. I am particularly sold of the fact that the author doubled down on the demystifying the monoliths, as she puts it. As I must say that as a copywriter, the cover title got me already. By the way, Judith Black Gown is mirroring the book, pun intended. Well, it's not a black gown. I have to get up to show you. It's not a black gown, Emma. It's a gorgeous black blouse and a skirt. So thank you so much for that, Emma. We have this message here from Tosan, and it's a long one, so we're going to get into it. She goes, I am loving what the author said about people assuming because you are Black doesn't mean you all should be friends. I remember a Finnish person I met on social media. We began chatting, and he said to me that he has a Nigerian friend whom they both studied at Manchester University. He automatically assumed that I should be friends with the person.
Exactly.
I had to educate him that Nigeria is so big that even on my street, I do not know everyone who lives there.
Exactly.
I had to educate him that because the person is Black doesn't mean we could be friends or family members.
Exactly, and that's the point of the book. And I think I made the point really strongly in the book. And Nigeria, over 250 different tribes speaking over 500 languages and dialects. We don't know everybody.
Yeah,
we don't. You know, so
this notion that all women have to be friends. Yeah. You also explored that well with the relationship between Ngozi, Zizi, and Kemi. What a! How did she not know or see the red flags that this woman was jealous of her?
but you know what? And you know, I don't want to share spoilers, but Kemi is also a complicated character.
Or she just lacks self-esteem, because I just don't get it.
Yes, and I think with Zizi is tired of like, you should be stronger than this. Why do I have to keep,
telling you what to do?
Exactly, and so I'm writing more, so there's going to be more. I don't want to give away, but a lot more is going to then show up in that, why that relationship happened that way. But Kemi is a character that only sees her own issues sometimes and doesn't see maybe how others around her are feeling. So maybe that was that dynamic with Zizi and Kemi too. Yeah.
Speaking of Kemi, she left. She got this new role, this diversity inclusive head of diversity, and then she bounces out of US.
Yes.
And of course she wouldn't have left, but the last straw was just, well, my dating life sucks. I might as well think better chances in Sweden.
Yes.
So let me go. And she goes there, but she quickly finds out that you're not exactly doing anything. It's just a token role. And that speaks so much of all this, this shift in more upper echelons of the white class and this mainstream of them saying, oh, okay, we've heard you, we want to diversify, but it's just a buzzword these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a very, I always say it's the most open society run by the most private, close people.
Say that again for those in the back.
The most open society run by the most private, close people. Because it is an open society, very egalitarian. You can kind of do what you want, but then to actually thrive, right? And society always sees Black women as, we're always surviving. But the minute you try to thrive, they're like, Are you
where are you going?
Where are you going? Sit down. Where are you going? Right, one opera is enough. We don't need two.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
So that's the thing, and it is, it is an issue in the US, in Europe, and I also wanted, because the book spans 3 different countries. It goes to the US, it goes to the UK, it goes to Sweden. And Europe is always saying, well, we don't have issues like the US, right? But Europe has its own issues. It's a lot more nuanced and, as opposed to being a vet, and so, yes, you have issues, you can't hide, and so for me, it was super important to show that, in a sense, places even come with different privileges for Black, for Black skin, and your existence as a Black woman is always questioned in a white dominated space. Like, why are you here? Even if they don't ask you verbally, it's why are you here? So
that's a very good one. We need to go for a very short break now. We have to, okay? But when we come back, we take more of your messages as well. You can join the conversation on our WhatsApp platform on 0809 4440981. You can also stream us live on YouTube at Smooth981 on YouTube. My guest today is Lola Akinmade Akerstrom, and she's the author of In Every Mirror, She's Black. Stay with us.
On Smooth 98.1.
All right, so
okay, so this is the
this is going to be the final. Unfortunately, the people I was expecting, they haven't come. I don't know why.
You mean the poetry?
The poetry guys, they didn't come, so I don't know why.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it. I could talk for it.
Now I was worried that but I mean, this is your first radio program here, because I also put a lot of pressure on myself as well.
You're doing fantastic. You're amazing.
I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I just because I don't know, but I just put too much pressure. I didn't even.
Why are you stressed? I'm super down. Like don't stress.
And I got the book on Wednesday, and the thing that's annoying is because I got the book on Wednesday, and I was losing my mind the whole time. So I'm like, I was selling Asafi. I was like, Asafi, why does that no book there? Asafi, you have killed me.
You could have at least sent you a PDF or like an email.
Again, no more. The reasons why they are also afraid to do that, which I totally understand. They're always afraid that
people share
it and everything. And I perfectly understand. When I was working with another publishing house, what I did was I asked them that, put the link only to me, like so that after I'm done reading, you can revoke my link. That you can revoke it, so we're able to read that and do an interview for their authors on there. So I did an roundtable interview with four or five of their authors, and then 2 interview for their upcoming books from 2 authors. So it was a Q&A just like this one on the book. So so on my page you find it there.
No, it's great. It's lovely. And I mean, even though, like I was going to say that I actually come right before the pandemic, I actually actually come home every year. You know,
yeah.
Super. So I didn't want it to sound like, oh, she just ran away and then she just
absolutely no. But I mean, like,
yeah.
They don't care. Who cares? Don't tell them, please. Yeah, just come here. Just come here. It's your business.
No, but once you have time and you finish reading the book, because you don't know where it's going.
I know.
I mean, the lady she was talking about the ending, so.
Okay.
Hey. Some people don't know where it's going.
Hey. We're going back in studio. And welcome back. You're listening to Smooth, the 98.1 Love Music, Love Life. This is the final leg of the Smooth Book Review Show right here. My name is Judith Atibi. My guest is Lola Akinmade Akerstrom, and she's the author of the book In Every Mirror, She's Black. It's her debut novel, and we're just talking all about it. You can join the conversation on WhatsApp on 0809 4440981. Again, 0809 4440981. You can also join us live on YouTube at Smooth 981. That's where we are. We're streaming live. Okay, so go there and check us out. We have messages on YouTube and also messages on our WhatsApp. All right, so we're going to take them. This one on YouTube is from, I'm going to try to vet that question. Okay, and it goes, this question is actually for the okay. Well, it's from me. Femi Obago, thank you. Obagon, thank you. He's asking, the question is actually for the interviewer. How do you get through a book so quickly enough to prepare for your author guest? What if the book is impossibly boring? That's a very good question. So I don't know how this interview become my interview. But I try to keep an open mind when I'm reading a book, just because I realize that it's a job and you must stay objective no matter what it is. So you have to keep an open mind with it, right? So and I have to remember that I have a job. It's not about me, it's about the author and just understanding that they have a voice. So I have to amplify their voice no matter what it is, and pretty much help them also make sense of, just of what it is, right? So that's what I do. So how do I get through the book so fast? I've read so many books that I can pretty much just tell what the author is trying to do. And again, I do have a background in English and literature, so there's that. So how do I get the book through quickly? What I do is I give myself task or target. So I make sure that maybe within 3-4 hours before I start my day, I must have covered at least 50 pages and make notes of what those 50 pages are. I also, what those 50 pages I've covered. So that would very quickly, I get past the book really quickly, right? So with those targets that I'm doing. So if I'm writing, I don't drive, I make sure to get the cab hailing services. So whilst I'm being driven, I'm reading the book instead of like flipping on pages of social media. That's really quickly, and then I'm making notes, right? And then also I have a community of friends who are also readers as well, so I kind of bounce off ideas off them. Big shout outs to Amin, big shout out to Ijoma, Tosing, as well as Oyinda, and also Shadi as well. So I have a number of people who love reading as well, so I'm always calling them up and we're always talking, and then I bounce off ideas off them. And also I follow a lot of social literary publishers of websites as well, so where I like journals as well. So I read other people's reviews, understand what they're also talking about the book, and sort of form my ideas as well, and that gives me a better understanding to set my question. So again, I can't say that the book is boring just because I have a job, and my job is to amplify African literature, African writers and brown writers, their voices no matter what. So I can't tell you a book is boring. So that's it. I hope that helps.
Great answer.
I hope that helps.
Love it.
I hope that's helps. And this is a Habib from Surulere, and he goes, the social platform I was talking about, where they were talking about white feminism, is Clubhouse. Okay,
yes,
so
Clubhouse.
So it's Clubhouse. So thank you so much, Habib, for that. So let's get back into as we round things up here, because we're pretty much out of time. But I wanted to talk to you 2 Sundays ago, maybe 3 Sundays ago. It was World Mental Health Awareness Day. And one of the themes in this book that you explore very heavily is mental health. We see that with one of the characters or the major characters, Johan, who some persons might consider a psychopath.
Yeah,
depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
There's also Bridget, who is dealing with a number of things and a lot of uncertainties when it comes to herself, have to dealing with sexual abuse, so many other things. And then there's Muna, who is a young girl, have seen she is thrust in the middle of the hardships of this world and what it is to be an immigrant and going out of a religion that has so many bad reps. Let's not even get into that, and then a young woman, a Jabi woman in a European country, and there's so many things that she's dealing with, and she's also seen the hardship of a friend, her only friend in the asylum where she's at, who's committed suicide. And there's also the characters as well who went on a hunger strike. There's so many things going on in this book, right, with mental health. And I want to ask, was this intentional for you as well? Because a lot of people say, oh, Black women are so strong, but you were very intentional with making them very flawed.
Yes, no, absolutely. And it's so important that you bring that up. Yes, Black women get that stereotype that we're strong, and it actually affects us when we go into the medical field, when we say, oh, when we're in hospitals and we say we're in pain, but they don't take us seriously. So really, but I really wanted to be intentional about this in the book because I came across a Swedish proverb that says, I'll say it in Swedish and then in English, "Den djupaste brunnen kan också tömmas," which means the deepest well can also be drained. And when I just got goosebumps when I read that proverb, and I said, I have to craft, because Black women are some of the deepest wells in society. The things we've gone through, the things we've experienced, marginalized people have wider perspective based on the experiences. So I needed to kind of address it this way. Muna, I see, is such a character I'm so connected with, because I see Muna as a younger version of myself when I first moved abroad, trying to find belonging, trying to find, connection. So the book is trying to say, if we do not get the support we need, if we do not support each other, encourage each other, then we're going to continue struggling with all sorts of mental health issues. And especially in the Nordics, where kind of the depression rates are really high and other things, it's important to talk about this. Absolutely.
Absolutely important. It's been wonderful having you here on the show.
Thank you. I could keep talking forever.
It's so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. We're having a book read today. Want to tell us all about the book read?
Yes. So it's at 2 p.m. At Page Bookstore in Ikeja. So if you can join us there in person, it would be great.
Yeah, we cannot wait to have you. I'm going to be there. I happen to be hosting or moderating the book read, and it's going to be at 82 Allen Avenue, Ikeja. It's called the Abiola Nelson House. Okay, so it's 2 p.m. prompt. No African time. She's European. And one thing about and Swedish people, they don't waste time. They're always prompt on time. So 2 p.m. is 2 p.m., guys. So make sure to stop by. It's going to be 82 Allen Avenue, Ikeja. And also you can come buy the book and also speak to her and also sign the book as well. You get your books signed as well. You read from the book. Oh my goodness, I didn't let you read from the book. Should we do that?
Oh, do we have time?
About a minute? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Let's see. Where do we...
Just pick a random page.
Yeah, so
that's not
random number. There's no spoilers. Random number. This is hard.
I know. Because every page is like a spoiler.
I know. Okay. I'm trying to think of where she.
You know what? Maybe where Brittany and Jamal. There's a scene where Brittany and Jamal just start to fight.
That's a good one. Let me see if I can find it. That's right in the beginning, where
look at maybe chapter 5, maybe. Let me see if I can find it.
If we can't find it, we have to go.
It's 70. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You found it?
Yeah,
I was right there. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
All right, so you ready?
So yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, Brittany Ray. A week after the statement bouquet arrived, another one was delivered. Brittany explained the second bouquet away by telling Jamal that Yoni was obsessed with her. Then radio silence from Yoni for 3 weeks until a dozen light pink roses were delivered to their hometown home with a note that read, "I'm coming to see you, Yoni." That was Jamal's breaking point. That evening, Brittany sat on the edge of their bed, next to crumpled pieces of damp tissue. She'd blown her nose, wiped her tears, rinsed and repeated that action as Jamal started pulling clothes of hangers and shoving them into two large suitcases he'd flung onto the floor. Every time she tried calling his name, she was silenced with her hand held up to her face. Stop, his hand said. Just stop. This is too much, Jamal mumbled to himself as he moved from closet to suitcase and back. Jamal, she called out. That's one business card you just couldn't throw away, huh? He stopped in front of her. I don't know him. I googled the bastard. Jamal caught his breath. He collects black women like trophies. Did you know that, Brit? Huh, Brit? I swear to you, she cried out. I don't know him like that. Then why does he keep sending you goddamn flowers? What the fuck is he apologizing for? For being an asshole. Brittany wanted to scream, but she couldn't tell Jamal. Oops, bleep. Bleep, sorry. She had agreed to that dinner. She had been complicit in the derailment of their relationship, and she had no one else to blame.
That's it. Very tumultuous relationship. Something that was so blissful just went on to become because of one white man.
Exactly.
Can you imagine? I mean, just one white man. And Jamal could not even fight for it because he was also very insecure. But again, I can't give away too much of the book. Lola, thank you so much for coming. I know. We can't dwell on the swear words. Just keep moving like it never happened. Yeah. Blip blip. We're sorry guys for those swear words, of course. But this brings us to the very end of the Smooth Book Review Show. Make sure to catch us. We're going to be at 82 Allen Avenue, Ikeja for the book read. So join us then at Page Bookstore, 82 Allen Avenue, Ikeja. All right. She'll be there. I'll be there. We'll be signing books, taking photographs, having drinks, laughing, and of course, wearing our face mask and social distancing as much as we can. Lola, it's been wonderful having you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. And thank you everyone to your messages to Tosan, Amin, Femi, Onome, Ijoma, and of course Mi and Habib. I want to say a very big thank you for all your messages. Well, that brings us to the very end. We're going to be back next week, Saturday, for another Smooth Book Review show. In the meantime, I hope everyone's been checking out the Lagos Poetry Festival. If you haven't, please, they are going to be at the Freedom Park. It's been so much fun. I think tomorrow they will be at the at the Terra Culture for the grand finale. Yesterday was the poetry competition, and quite a number. I think there was a winner there. I caught a glimpse of it on their live there. So make sure to go catch the Lagos Poetry Festival tomorrow and today. Still going on live everywhere. That's Freedom Park and Terra Culture tomorrow. That's for me. It's goodbye. Catch me on Instagram and of course on LinkedIn. I'm at Judith Atibi. The station's platform is at Smooth981 on Instagram and of course on Facebook and YouTube. Check out our website is www.smooth981.fm. Well, where can they find you?
At Lola Akinmade.
Mm-hmm.
And the book also at In Every Mirror.
At In Every Mirror. Go grab your copy now. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Stories and literature from the African perspective.
That's it. No, it's okay. It's fine. No, you can't dwell on it. Come on. You can't.
Because it's from the book.
No, exactly. You can't. No, you can't dwell on it.
Then I was just like,
yeah, if it was me, you're not a trained, you're not in media, so there's nothing you can do. But
I don't want you to get backlash like that.
No, it's fine.
I woke up Saturday morning and then this woman's just cussing.